Hello traders and welcome in a new daily market analysis video. Today is the 18th of April 2022 and this video is brought to you by the market research team at Pure Prime. Today is basically a beginning of a new trading week. Basically the liquidity by the beginning of the week is larger than usual due to the Easter day. So what do we expect and how to trade using the current chart formations as well as technical analysis tools? All of this will be discussed in today's video. Please stay tuned. By starting with the economic agenda for today, the 18th of April, we can see basically that the agenda is somehow empty. We don't have any economic releases that we will be looking for. Only by the beginning of the Asian session, we had some numbers from the Chinese economy, which included the GDP as well as the industrial production for the month of March. Basically, both the numbers showed as positive and much higher than they expected, which is bullish for the Chinese economy as a whole. Having a look on the holiday side, we can see that many countries in Europe as well as Asia and Australia are basically off today for the Easter, including United Kingdom, Germany, Italy, France, Spain, Australia, Hong Kong, and New Zealand. So basically, during today's European session, we'll be having larger than usual liquidity through the markets, which might basically open the door for much higher volatility in either directions, especially what we have seen. For example, on the gold trading, we are currently heading to the levels of $2,000. So this is very well expected. This is basically what we need to do for the economic agenda for today. Let's have a quick look on the charts and the technical analysis. By starting with the dollar index, basically, we can see here that we still, by the beginning of this week, we are still heading higher on the US dollar index. However, on the 4-hour time frame, we can see here that we are trading just around or just above the levels of 100 points. The 100 points level on the 4-hour time frame as well as the daily time frame is basically a very key resistance as well as a supply area here. 100.70 and 100.75 is something that we should really watch, because also on the 4-hour time frame we can see that the upward movement is basically not supported by any momentum to the upside. We're having this bearish momentum, which might conclude that the dollar index wouldn't be able to break above this supply and resistance levels here. So basically we will be looking for a short on the dollar index on the very short time frame. However, in order to go short on the dollar, we will be waiting first for a lower low on the 30 minutes time frame, as well as a bearish candlestick on the 4-hour time frame. Anything between like an engulfing or a bearish engulfing, a shooting star, a hanging man, all of those bearish price action should basically be our short signal on the dollar index. On the other side, the euro basically is still also around a very key support and demand area here around 1.07 or 1.08 roughly. And again, on the divergence indicator, on the momentum indicator, we can see here that we are still having a bullish divergence, which basically gives us a little correction to the upside from here. However, just like we said for the dollar index, we should wait for a bullish price action to appear from here. And on the 30 minutes time frame, we'd be waiting for a higher high to be created in order to go long on the euro versus the US dollar on the short time frame. Basically, what supports the euro versus the US dollar is what is happening on the euro versus the British pound, because we rejected the levels of support, the very strong levels of 0.8250 roughly, and we're starting to go to the upside. The momentum indicates that we are having a good potential to the upside. And as well as on the 30 minutes time frame, we are starting to see a higher high beginning basically to form, which means that on the very short time frame we are starting to have an upward trend on the 30 minutes time frame. So our targets on the euro versus the pound on the 30 minutes and the 4-hour time frame, this is what we'll be looking for during the day is 0.8310, and then basically the next target to be 0.8370. This is what we will be looking for. Let's have another look on the gold trading. Basically, we are still having this upward movement to the upside. The next resistance and supply area is to be around $2,000 per ounce. So basically, currently trading at 1990, we still have a room of $10 to the upside to test the levels of $2,000. Basically, we will be watching for a price action to appear from here. In case of a bearish price action, we might retreat a little bit back to the levels of 1960. However, in case of a break above, we will basically continue the move to the upside. Let's have a last look on the US crude oil. We're still having our targets on 105.57 and 108.60. This is something we will be looking for. The US crude oil basically rejected the levels of support brilliantly to the upside. However, it seems to me that a correction to the downside might be due from the levels of 105.57, especially that we have been going to the upside since $94 per barrel. So we might have a retracement from the levels of 105.57 and then continue the basically the upward move to 108.60. This is what we will be having in the markets today. Thank you so much for watching. Please stay tuned for our daily market analysis video and please stay safe.